And now, Bottom Split Theatre.
Good evening and welcome to Season 4, Week 2 of the iRacing Global Mazda Series here at Okayama International Circuit. This is Bottom Split Theater, the 10 p.m. Bottom Split. And I am Alex Albert. With me is David Haynes. We're here to cover all the action as the cars are starting to take the grid after an eventful qualifying session. David, can you go ahead and run us down through the grid? It looks like they're gridding up quick. Might not be much time tonight.
Yeah, exactly. So some of the drivers didn't actually get a qualifying time in, but amongst those who did, Mickey Thomas is clear and ahead on pole with Stephen Ford behind him, then Rick Ford, then Ernani Souza, Kent Howerton, and the last driver with a time is Michael Occhipinti. So behind them, they'll line up Jose Marquez, Nicholas Foster, Patrick Clark, and Brian May.
So we both just got done watching this qualifying session, like I mentioned, and I've got my eye on Jose Marquez. Had a couple of off tracks in the qualifying, disallowed his laps, but I think he's got some good speed. Definitely has the aggression needed here. Okay, waiting on one more. All right, the grid's here. Engine's up. And they're away.
Now, am I correct in saying maybe Mickey Thomas is starting from the pit lane?
That wouldn't be a bad move. No, you are correct. That, you know, I think he has the pace. He feels like he has the pace. He's going to make it sporting. You know, a 4-second advantage in qualifying, 3.5, 4 second. Oh, as we see up ahead.
Occhipinti and I think Jose Marquez have come together in turn 2.
Yeah, and Patrick Clark got in the wall. Oh, and here we go. We see Mickey Thomas going flying by, already making up a couple of those positions.
Maybe he was wise to start it from the pit lane, but he is going now. He's was well and truly clear in that qualifying session. So if he can,
whoa, big crash at the front, big crash. The 6, let's go back, take a look at that. I hate to do a replay on the start, but this is going to be big. It looks to me like just a bit of blocking here. And then it just blocking gone too far, which, you know, I have to respect the 2. He can only go to the edge of the track. The 6 ran him all the way to the edge. And he got snipped. Oh, and Mickey Thomas spinning.
Yeah, so just coming out of that hairpin by himself, you know, he's got maybe a wheel on the outside grass, and at that point, it's gone around. He's put the brakes on, but still just a tiny crash with the guardrail there, and he's dented the nose of that Mazda MX-5.
Wow. So what an eventful first lap, but it looks like your leader is going to be the 9 car of Ernani Souza out of the Brazil Club. He's going to lead the first lap here. Rick Ford, though. Ooh, looking inside. Ooh, very close. Rick's already got a little bit of damage there on the front end as the 5 looks on Nicholas C. Foster here.
Yep, in fact, Nicholas Foster looking pretty racy there as well. Rick Ford's move didn't quite work out, didn't quite have the overlap, so I think fair play to Ernani Souza to close that off, but Foster's
here we go
down the inside.
Oh, this is eventful.
Ernani Souza misses the corner, shortcuts that as well, so Rick Ford gets in up the inside. Nicholas Foster's got the run too to make it work, so Ernani Souza's going to lose out 2 places there, and Rick Ford is back into the lead. Nicholas Foster, door-to-door, gets the overlap clear.
Yeah, Souza, it seemed like just got a little bit loose there on the entry under braking. The 5 was going to make a pass, but then had to back out of it when he saw the 9 spinning. Here we go. See the 5 having another go. The 2 able to fight him off here.
Nicholas Foster being very brave on the brakes in some places, but Rick Ford being a little bit smoother, carrying a little bit more momentum through the corner. And Nicholas Foster's not afraid to use the grass on the exit of that corner either. He's still sizing up Rick Ford. We've got 2 very slow corners right here. This is real car control, slow corner stuff here.
Yeah, I think Foster is ready to go to the front. He doesn't seem to want to waste any time. Oh, mistake there, running wide in the grass. As you can see, gives up probably about 6 car lengths. Just with that mistake, falls back into the clutches of Souza. Let's just tidy it up here, second place. I think second place has the pace to take a fight to the leader.
Yep, right now, I think Nicholas C. Foster in that number 5 car is our hard charger, up 6 places if you exclude Mickey Thomas, who qualified on pole but then started from the pit lane. You can't give someone the hard charger award for starting from the pit lane, can you?
No, the computer won't allow it.
No, exactly. So at the moment, Nicholas C. Foster is up 6 places, and no gap larger than a second between first and third.
Look at Foster, though. Whenever he came off of the last corner onto the main straight, he was much closer to third place. Now, entering this slow right-hander up the hill, he's much, much closer to first place. Oh, as we see, this may be trouble up ahead. This is that Stephen Ford? Yeah, Stephen Ford's the one that ran the 2 all the way to the edge of the grass earlier. Not sure what the deal is there, but maybe he still harbors some bad feelings, so keep your eye on that as we go ahead here.
Also to look at, though, is for 4th place, Mickey Thomas is catching Jose Marquez. That one looks like it might be resolved pretty quickly. Both these guys, some damage on the front. Mickey Thomas throws it down the inside there. They're side by side still.
And they touch!
Jose Marquez tries to close the door, but Mickey Thomas keeps his foot in it and is having none of that.
And Jose Marquez spin. No.
Again, Jose Marquez into the wall. He reverses out onto the track, and he was very lucky to be avoided, but Brian May loses control from that, and he's also in the wall. Jose Marquez should have maybe been a little bit more careful reversing onto the track there.
Yeah, hopefully the stewards have a bit of a word with him. Let him know what is and is not acceptable, as we see Rick Ford continuing to lead this race, being close in on, though, by Nicholas Foster.
Foster got a good run off the final corner, closed some tenths down the pit straight, but now it's a bit more squiggly here. Rick Ford looks like he runs a little bit wide. That's a tricky corner there in number 2. It's a little bit off camber, isn't it, Alex?
Yeah, it's deceiving too at the speed. But if you get the line wrong, it does feel like it just falls away towards the gravel trap there. Now, Foster's very close here.
Less than a car length. Can he get a good run up the hill? That's another difficult corner. It sort of crests right there.
Rick Ford beat him off right there. He was able to get a better run off the corner and just beat him off.
Yep, so Foster will get into the draft, which is pretty powerful in these cars. They've not got a whole lot of power, so it closes him a tenth or so. He's not close enough to make a dive bomb into that hairpin, but Foster is definitely a little bit closer than he was to Rick Ford last lap.
I think that now he's starting to show, as we see big black marks out of the Ford's car as he slides through that slow left-hander. I think that Foster now maybe respects the leader a little more. I think earlier he thought, I'll just get around this guy, and be gone. But I think now that he sees that Ford has some genuine pace, he's just going to ride and size him up. Yeah, going to have 6 to go next time by.
The first lap, you might not know who you're racing, but after a few laps, you kind of get to size up your opponents. And maybe at that point, Nicholas C. Foster will see that he might need to be a little bit more patient, give a teeny bit more respect to Rick Ford, who runs quite
Here we go.
wide.
This will be the move. This allows Foster to get inside. Foster deep inside of Ford.
But so deep on the brakes. Rick Ford tries to send it back on Nicholas Foster.
Foster has the position here into this next corner. Oh, but Ford sends it around the outside. Very close on exit, and Ford regains the lead. That was an impressive move there, David.
Yeah, indeed. And behind them, Mickey Thomas has gotten past Hernani Souza do Brazil. So from the pit lane, Mickey Thomas is up into the place once again.
Wow, the 5 car I thought was going to get into the back of the 2. Showed some restraint, locked up the tires. All right, so do you think Mickey can get here, David? He's seemed to draw it down the last couple of laps. But there for a while, he was running off track so much, I didn't know if he'd be able to make it through the race without running out of incidents.
Yeah, look, if these two keep fighting for the lead, it's absolutely on. Mickey Thomas is only 4.5 seconds back, and he gained about 2.5 seconds on them last time. Let me get my calculator out. Yep, he's going to catch them at this rate.
Yeah, maybe, I'd say 2 laps from now, we may have a 3-car battle for the lead. So maybe, just maybe, Foster knows that. Perhaps his crew's in his ear, saying, stay in line here. If Ford wants to lead, let him lead.
Yeah, Foster gets a bit wobbly there. These two, you know, these last put it all on the lead for the win, put it all on the line, but Mickey Thomas is catching them right up.
Yeah, Mickey running wide there out of the dual hairpins. So he must have plenty of incidents left. Mickey, the 1 car, knows what he's doing. Or no, excuse me, Mickey is the 4 car tonight.
Yeah, so Rick Ford's pulled out a tiny bit on...
Kind of surprised Steve Ford's staying out here. Who is he? As I say that, he runs wide into the gravels. I thought Steven might get caught up here by our leaders a little quicker than he has. He's been able to stay out front.
Yeah, so we were maybe expecting him to get lapped rather quickly, but obviously out of Texas, Stephen Ford, it's not too slow. He's just been a victim of that first lap where we saw a few people come a cropper, as it were.
Looks like Mickey's going to be there next time by. That'll be 5 to go. Really, Mickey closing it up there in the braking zone. Made up probably 2 tenths. Ooh,
yeah,
as it gets very dicey for the lead.
And now they are within just a few car lengths of Stephen Ford. So that could be... Well, Nicholas Foster's going to look to the inside. How late is he going to brake?
He's going to make his move? No.
Not too much.
Just having a look, maybe trying to get in Ford's head. Scare him offline, but Ford seems to be very composed with that impressive pass in turn 2 earlier. Round the outside, round the outside.
So now Mickey Thomas is there. If he gets a good run out,
Stephen Ford running wide. Looks like Thomas didn't get such a good run off the last corner. Oh, it's Ford. Great run into turn 1. Foster runs a bit wide. Keeps it on the track there. Has to lift out of it.
Rick Ford up front pleading with the marshals to show more blue flags to Stephen Ford, but it's not necessary as they lose control and they touch. And they touch the lap traffic. It's a real traffic jam, but Mickey Thomas makes it through to the lead.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing. No, they all get away with it. Oh, except for Steven, he gets drilled. Oh no, Steven, it looked like everyone was going to get away with that. It was a comedy of errors, but then Steven just gets pegged at the finish.
I'm watching Rick Ford, and his car is crabbing harder than a seafood dinner. He's got the wheel pointing one way, the car's going the other. There's like a 10-degree slip angle between where the nose is pointing and the way that car is traveling. I'm not sure what kind of pace Rick Ford can possibly do. That thing is so unstable under brakes. So Nicholas Foster gets second place, but Mickey Thomas avoids all of the carnage, and he's through into the lead after starting in the pit lane.
Well, that's experience for you. He knew that he had the pace to overcome the deficit at the beginning. It's better to be safe, get out of that mix in the start. As we saw, there was a crash in turn 2. Treacherous turn 2. I don't know. I think that Nicholas C. Foster here is going to put the bit between his teeth. He can't be happy with this turn of events.
You know, I would have thought Nicholas C. Foster would have dropped further from Mickey Thomas than he has. The gap is still only about a second, and it's possible that Mickey Thomas might be missing a little bit of straight line speed with that big crooked divot out of the front of his car. He goes very deep into turn 1 as well. Yeah. Both of them do.
Foster's car... Go ahead.
Anani Souza is going to catch Rick Ford because, as I said, Rick Ford's car is crabbing hard. So Anani Souza do Brasil is catching for that final podium place. That's a battle we're going to have to watch as well.
That's surprising because the right front of Souza's car has to be damaged after the peg that he put on Stephen Ford. All right, so it's down
Foster's
to 0.2 of a second.
And you know, draft is how I
go.
like my Fosters, so. They go side by side for the lead. Nicholas Foster is going to have to brake really late to make this work. And he does. Will he make the corner? He does as well. So Nicholas Foster's back into the lead. I don't know what's happened to Mickey Thomas. Maybe he just likes to play with his food.
Oh, I'm not sure either. Mickey does seem to have lifted out of it a bit. It's possible that he's just toying with him here.
He comes back. Will he look to the inside? He doesn't. I think he might be playing with Nicholas Foster just a little bit because that was a good opportunity. He could have maybe slung it down the inside and he just waits in line. He might wait for the pit straight, try and get a good run out of the final corner. There's less than a car's length in it, Alex.
Yeah, let's see. This last turn's not a great passing zone. Kind of ran wide there on the entry. We were grading corners. I would say Mickey maybe a B- compared to Foster's better line, but Foster just not getting the drive off the corner. Foster though
defends to the inside and he brakes late again, and Mickey Thomas is not through, but Mickey Thomas is going to try the over-under. Now the next corner's left-hander, the off-camber one we mentioned, and Foster, I thought he was going to run wide, but he did manage to bring it back to a late apex, which can be tricky to do.
Yeah, Foster with a best lap of 150.1 is 2 seconds slower than what we know is Mickey's best. And Mickey, even on these old tires, I would have to believe, has at least a half a second advantage on pace over Foster. So I think that we are going to see a move here for the lead. Oh yeah, Nicholas C. Foster, if he's not your winner tonight, can still maybe be, oh man, he goes very deep into the corner there. I think Mickey kind of sold him a dummy, but Foster able to keep it under control. Hits his apexes here. Ooh, gives a bit of a look there to Mickey. Mickey probably won't go here. Oh, but he does. Foster, man, maybe Foster knew he was being played with.
So as it is now, though, Nicholas C. Foster is up 6 positions from where he started, and that makes him, as things stand, our Dickens Cider hard charger of the race with the most positions gained.
Oh, here we go. Foster having to look back on the inside of the dual hairpins. This is coming around here through the penultimate corner. We're into the final bend, and we will be down.
Has the white flag out as these two come towards the line. He's waving that white flag, and Nicholas Foster's got a good run. He goes to the inside. Mickey Thomas moves about a car width to try and defend it, but it's useless. So now they're side by side into the first corner.
Yeah, lap times almost identical of these two cars on the last lap. As Foster back to his familiar line on the left side of the track here, going into 2. Is Mickey Thomas going to be able to seal the deal? Is he out of incidents? Is he just trying to finish?
We'll have to see. I think that on the numbers, Mickey Thomas has the pace for this, but I think Nick Foster, well, he's not afraid of defending or braking late. So now Mickey Thomas gets the good run, gets the draft. Foster moves to the inside to defend that. We know Foster can brake late, but Mickey Thomas has good car control and can brake around the outside. Oh,
Foster late on the binders, but at the perfect time, holds a pretty apex and pulls out a bit of a lead there. I think if Foster can tidy up his entry onto the backstretch, he's really going to help the lap times. Ooh, a bit of a mistake there. That lets Mickey get a little closer as they run down the short chute here into the double hairpin.
Yep, there's not really many overtaking opportunities left between here and the checkered flag, even if Mickey Thomas has the speed. Nicholas Foster just needs to hold it on the racing line, get a good run out of these corners, park it on the apex, whatever he needs to do. He's got 2 more corners.
Oh, here comes Mickey, though. Mickey seems to be able to lay the power down a little bit better than Nick. Here we go, into the last corner. Oh, I think Mickey's got too close. I think Foster's going to be able to park it on the apex, kind of break Mickey's run here. Oh, is he squeezing him over to the wall? Here we go. They touch. Oh, they touch again, and Mickey gets him, I think, at the line. Wow, another photo finish.
No, by 0.017, the winner is Mickey Thomas. He just got Nicholas Foster at the end. I think that bumping and rubbing didn't favor Nicholas Thompson. I think he should have just run straight for the line.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. I think that that cost him the race. He was worried too much about defending and just broke his own momentum. But you know, it's really hard to make those decisions. You know, when you're coming off the corner, the only way to learn these type of lessons is to learn by doing, and that's what we saw here tonight.
So we're going to take a look at Rick Ford. I think this is how Anani Souza got through for 3rd place. Rick Ford's car's crabbing quite a lot indeed. So I guess it was only a matter of time before Anani Souza got through. But Rick Ford then ended up losing out to Kent Howerton, who took 4th place, and then 5th place went to Rick Ford.
Yeah, that just changed on my timing screen. Did Ford not finish? I guess he went just past the line. Yeah, I'm not sure. So, your winner tonight, Mickey Thomas, over Nicholas C. Foster in a barn burner of a race, all the way down to the line. Less than a 10th? Wow.
1,000th. Or 1.5 thousandths is actually what the gap ended up being. So that was very, very close. Mickey Thomas grabbing it right at the line there.
Yeah, 100.5.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But less than a 10th, that's amazing. Another photo finish. Wow. And we want to also give props to Hernani Souza with a great run there onto the podium. Kent Howerton, Rick Ford, and Patrick Clark and Michael Acapinti also finished on the lead lap. So, David, what are your thoughts for tonight?
Well, obviously, that was actually a pretty tense race the whole way through. And we had some guys who led laps like Rick Ford, who then just couldn't quite capitalize. Guess you got to race clean, but this is a fun circuit. It was ferocious competition, and maybe these are some of the champions of the future.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look at that finish again. Man, Foster moving all over the track. Thomas had his eye on the prize, the finish line, made a beeline for it. And man, he's the one kissing the girl and carrying the trophy home tonight. So congratulations, Mickey Thomas, your winner. So that's going to conclude our coverage for tonight. I hope everyone can join us again next week, Monday nights, 9 p.m. for ovals, 10:10 for the road. And this Bottom Split Theater bringing you the stars tomorrow on iRacing. Good night and mahalo.